Recently I was lucky enough to try the Zero SRF and Energica Eva from the English electric motorcycle company. It was really useful to get to try them back to back and compare the two bikes. If you're interested in buying one or you're curious about electric bikes in general, stay tuned and I'll give you my rundown of the best on the market so far. Roll the intro.
Energica Eva, £21,000, full race setup, 200 and something kilograms, 260 or something. It's a stunner. It is a stunner. This is very different. This is big tourist standard. They're saying tourist standard because of the size and weight proportions and things. So this will be smaller. It will be slightly shorter, slightly lighter than the Energica. I say slightly, significantly, because that is quite a heavy bike. Make no bones about it. Already I can tell, and this road is quite good for it because there's loads of little potholes. Suspension is not too firm, not too soft. It's in that Goldilocks zone. How's the power? I'm going to guess pretty substantial. Let's see. Oh my god! It absolutely howls. It screams going out. It has its own little unique sound to it. So electric motors do anyway. This thing's then chain driven, which is unusual for most electric vehicles. They tend to go for the belt drive system. It is quite big and bouncy. It's got a lot of weight to get moving. It's got a lot of weight to handle. That is bounce. Lifts you out of the seat a little every now and then. It might be because the road is a little uneven. Having said that, it's bouncing me out of the seat less than the Energica as well. That's an important thing to note, just in terms of its ride comfort and its performance. I don't know if I want to say that it feels a little more planted. What I'm definitely going to say is that out of the two of them, this is the one that I would own. For no other reason at the moment than I feel more connected to it. The fact that it's a bit lighter is noticeable, and to me it's important. It won't be to everyone. Very good. Time to take some photos. Time to stick this thing back on charge. What I want to do is take a photo here, actually, because I feel like it's a nicer shot.
So if you're interested in high-powered, top-of-the-range electric bikes, there are 3 manufacturers you'll want to pay some attention to at the moment, before the rest of the European and Japanese manufacturers get themselves into gear, so to speak, because there ain't no gears in electric bikes. Ha! Those are Zero, by far the most recognised at the moment of the electric bike manufacturers. Most people have heard the name. Energica, Italian-made and performance-driven. They are dedicating themselves a little bit more to the racing market. And Harley, new to the scene with its newly released Livewire. Right, cards on the table, which one would I buy? Let's get this out of the way, and then you need to watch no more, but you can if you choose to. Stay with me. I would buy the Zero SRF. I just would. It won't surprise any of you, I'm sure. It's just the nicest riding experience I've had on an electric bike so far. The Energica, it was nice. It was a little bit taller, it's a bit bigger. It will be familiar to anyone who's used to more of a touring or adventure bike, I'm sure. But the benefit to a touring bike is that you have more comfort, more electronic additions like cruise control and heated grips, and most importantly, they have greater range, generally. The slower handling is a trade-off for all of that practicality. But the Zero offers the same amount of electronic aids as the Energica, with greater range actually, and much better handling. It's as simple as that. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been able to ride the Harley Livewire yet, so for the purposes of that comparison, let me stick to the on-paper facts. Starting with the battery, the Harley has the biggest out of the 3 with a 15.5 kilowatt-hour battery. The Zero comes with a 14.4 and the Energica comes with a 13.4. In theory, that should mean that it is more powerful and has a greater range. And that is largely true, but power is also somewhat dependent on the motor and range is dependent on weight. So, for power, Zero wins with 110 brake horsepower and 190 newton meters of torque. The Energica is next with 109 brake horsepower and 180 newton meters, and the Harley has 105 horsepower and 116 newton meters of torque. The Zero and Energica also have a top speed of 125 miles per hour, with the Harley claiming 110 miles per hour limited. None of that counts for a lot in real terms, as you're unlikely to want to sustain anything over 70 miles per hour. And they all claim a 0 to 60 of about 3 seconds. They're all really quick.
Make it sing. That is incredible. Simply stunning. It's quick by anyone's standards, by any bike standards, by any car's standards. This is fast. This is very, very fast.
For range, the Zero also wins. Not to mention their website is the most comprehensive and forthcoming with information. But they claim 82 miles of motorway range at 70 miles per hour. More if you go 50, but let's be honest, you won't. A maximum of 198 miles with the premium version in a city, or a combination of around 108 miles. Harley lists a combined range of 95 miles and Energica 93. Not a lot in it for second and third place, but the Zero wins. Unsurprising really when you consider its battery size and its weight. Zero comes in about 220 kilograms, which isn't bad. Harley 250, and the Energica is, well, it's a bit of a heifer. It's just shy of 260 kgs.
So engine braking, will it bring you to a complete stop? Yes. Yes, it will. So if you're pulling up and you prepare well enough for roundabouts, stop signs, your house, all you have to do is let go of the throttle, and the engine braking is such that it will actually bring you to a complete stop, a complete standstill. How much money are you actually going to have to spend on brakes? Practically nothing. Chains, however, yeah, you might need to, because that's going to start sharp toothing quite quickly.
Suspension and braking is all top notch. I don't know that there's necessarily an outright winner, because it's kind of dependent on your taste for comfort. But they're all fully adjustable front suspension. Showa for the two Americans and Marzocchi for the Italian. Comes in relatively soft on the Energica as well. Rear is Showa again on the Zero and the Harley, and again fully adjustable, where the Energica has Bitubo adjustable for rebound and preload. Close win, but in my opinion, the Zero and the Harley top this one. Brakes are a little clearer on paper. 4-piston Brembos on the Harley and Energica on the front. Slightly bigger discs on the Energica, but bear in mind it also has more to stop. Zero has J-Juan 4-piston calipers and 320mm discs, and they're good, but they're not Brembos. Rear, a Brembo dual piston on the Energica and Harley. Bigger discs this time on the Harley. And the Zero has a single piston J-Juan once again. More importantly, however, they all have differing levels of regenerative braking. Think engine braking dialed up. And when I say dialed up, I mean to 11 on the Energica if you want. Because that thing's regenerative braking is ludicrous. You genuinely don't need the brakes. Because of that, it's really hard to choose a winner for braking, but from my day of testing, the Energica definitely has it.
It's comfortable as well. As I say, I haven't actually been on any tours, I don't think. But my experience of bigger bikes than I'm used to feels like it plays with that market well. It's a little taller. I never feel that comfortable on bikes that are quite this tall. Leaning it over, it's just ever so slightly further to the ground.
Let me simplify the proportions somewhat by saying that the Zero is short with tight steering and a regular seat height. The Energica is a bit taller, a bit longer, and a bit slower on the handling. The Harley, perhaps unsurprisingly, is long, low, and slower to turn. Pick your favourite and gravitate towards that.
I was speaking to one of the guys back there, and we were somewhat agreed on the notion that character, engine character, ride character is limited on electric bikes because of the way they develop it, because there is only one form. It's a motor and it revolves, that's it. The character is universal, it's the same no matter which of them you go on. Having said that, this has slightly different character to the Energica. There is something different about it. The other thing this has different to the Energica is Less engine braking. Will it stop by itself? Yep. Oh, not quite. It does keep ticking over. So yeah, the engine braking isn't the same as the Energica at all. It's still quite firm. There is a lot of braking to it, but it's nowhere near as abrupt. It's softer on the throttle because of that as well. You don't, or at least my right hand doesn't feel as taxed because of that, because I can let go and it's not all over the place. It's not seesawing back and forth.
For added extras and fun gimmicks, they're all pretty much the same. They will all connect to your phone. They all have colour displays that can show maps. They all have many rider modes, although the Zero is the only one that comes with a beast mode. That will be important to some people, I'm not gonna lie, it's quite important to me. They all have ABS, traction control and cruise control. Honourable mention for the Harley though, because it has haptic feedback, like you would get on your phone. And to me, that actually is quite a fun little gimmick. Those are the things that for an electric bike you can consider as character. There are some other small differences. Main one really is the Energica uses a chain drive, I'm assuming because of their racing focus, but I have to say that I personally prefer belt. It's smoother, it's quieter, it's cleaner. Really, for the most part, again then, it comes down to your taste. They're all crazy quick, and I mean that. I can't emphasize that enough. Highly customizable and have similar high-spec components. The differences come with their riding styles and their range. So decide which one you want and then go with the Zero anyway, because it's £17,490 if you're in the UK this year. The Energica starts at 21 and the Livewire is listed in the States starting at $29,799. If $10,000 or pounds means nothing to you, then by all means go HD. You might prefer the Energica as an experience. And to be fair, although it has less range, it charges potentially in half the time, so the mileage to time probably balances out on a longer trip. But I don't personally think you get anything extra over the Zero for your £2,500. So for me, at the moment, the Zero still has it. Not to mention the fact that over the Energica, Zero guarantee their batteries for 5 years, Energica do it for 3. Harley, to be fair to them, also do it for 5 years. That's not saying they won't outlive that or that the Energica wouldn't give you 5 years, it's just showing that Zero and Harley have a little bit more faith in their product.
Awesome close to my day. So let's plug it in, get it charging, swap it over with the Energica. There we are. Which should be some 47 charge. That is surprising.
It's still more expensive than a petrol bike, but electric is coming. And if you want to experience the new wave now, then Zero is currently your best option. You might also be tempted to save a little bit more money and go for a slightly older and cheaper version from Zero. But trust me when I say that this is a next-gen step up from the brand, and that there is a very noticeable difference in quality between them. Let me know which one you choose in the comments below, if any at all. And feel free to swing over to the English Electric Motorcycle Company's website as well. There will be a link in the description. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I don't just do electric bikes. Obviously, I have a few petrol alternatives as well. Feel free to check a few out. And I will see you in the next video, possibly, if you liked it. If you didn't, then I will never see you again, probably, unless I trick you. Ta-ra.